from Ole Miss, number 30.
Tonight we will have baseball between the Harwich Mariners and the YD Red Sox. After 3 games postponed, there is not a cloud in the sky tonight at White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian McLaughlin. Alongside me is Andre Sims. Andre, beautiful night for baseball. How are we feeling today?
It feels good that we're actually getting some baseball in now. Up to 29 weather-related delays, cancellations, whatever it is, between the fog, the rain, the hail, thunder, lightning. It's been tough to get a good stretch of games in, but now here we are. It's a beautiful day here in Harwich. The sun's kind of beating down on us right now here at our broadcast position, but couldn't ask for better weather for baseball, so I'm feeling good.
I'll take this rather than rain pouring down on us, Andre, as we get set here between the Mariners and the Red Sox, as it looks like we're set for the national anthem. In fact, we'll have the starting lineups for you and first pitch when we return here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts, Brian McLaughlin and Andre Sims. Here's we're set for baseball between the Mariners and the Red Sox this evening. Andre, before the anthem started, I was about to ask you about the Red Sox lineup. They're leading the Cape League in runs, over 6 runs a game for this lineup, and it's one of the most prolific offenses in this Cape League and one of the most prolific lineups we've seen Scott Pickler put out so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. First in runs, second in hits, first in total bases, first in RBI. It's an offense that at any point in time has the capability to put up a crooked number, and that's something we've seen pretty much all season, save for when this team has played Chatham, which has an outstanding pitching staff. But this lineup we're looking at today with Campbell, Wells, King, Eister, and Wold as 1 through 5 is about as potent as we've seen so far this season. Like you said, that is a lot of thump, but not just home run, single, or strikeout guys. This is a lot of very talented hitters, people that can go to all fields, extra base hits, singles, whatever it is. So very, very, very talented lineup here for Scott Pickler.
Powerful lineup against a powerful pitcher on the mound. Buddy Hayward out of Harvard, set to get the start for the Mariners tonight. This year at Harvard, Hayward struck out over 10.5 men per 9 innings, Andre. So big strikeout man on the mound facing off against the Red Sox lineup. What's his approach, and how do the Red Sox try to deal with the fireball?
You know what I think it comes down to, and I think one thing that is working in YD's advantage is that they're very patient and they're good contact hitters. Like I said, they're not a home run or bust type of team. They're comfortable with getting single after single after single and stringing hits together. We've seen them do that a lot this season. And so for YD, it's just got to be about seeing their pitch. This is a guy who's going to throw a lot of strikes. Like you said, counts on missing bats. This is a very high contact team. Got roughed up a little bit against Chatham, did Hayward, in his first start of the Cape League season. 3 hits, gave up 4 walks. So the capability to be a little bit wild is there. So for this YD lineup, you got to just be able to sit back and wait for your pitch to take advantage.
Hayward has only made that one start. He has a 6.23 ERA on the mound. Like Andre said, 4 1/3 innings, walked 4, struck out 5 in that first appearance on the mound. Now for the lineup for the YD Red Sox this evening. Leading off, Noah Campbell. He's designated hitting tonight from South Carolina. Austin Wells in the 2-hole from Arizona in left field tonight. Riley King plays third base and bats third. Andrew Eister in right in the cleanup role. Jack Wolds bats fifth from UNLV. He'll play first base. The second baseman, Gavin Dugas out of LSU, bats sixth. Noah Cardenas, the catcher from UCLA, bats seventh. And Jake Palmer plays center field and is in the 8th spot, followed by Drew Swift, rounding out the order from Arizona State. He's at shortstop tonight. The defense now for the Mariners. In left field, it's Joey Weimer. Jacob Hurtubise is in center. Daniel Cabrera, teammate of Gavin Dugas at LSU, is in right. The infield has Tyler Keenan at third. Hal Hughes is at shortstop. Christian Fedko from UConn at second. And Nico Cavadas will guard the first base bag. Michael Rothenberg from Duke does the catching for the Mariners tonight with Buddy Hayward on the mound. Hayward 6'6", 225 out there on the hill for the Mariners. Campbell, the switch hitter, steps in from the left side against the righty Hayward. First pitch from Hayward. Fastball that misses high and away, ball 1, and we're underway from White House Field. Hayward from the windup, the 1-0 to Campbell. Fouled away, high and out of play down the left side, 1-1. Campbell 7 for 14 as a Red Sox in this 2019 season. He has scored 5 times. A ball and a strike, the pitch from Hayward. Taken high and tight, another fastball from the Harvard righty. 2 balls and a strike to Campbell. Chokes up on the bat a bit. Here's the 2-1. Misses up at the eyes, 3 balls and a strike. Hayward missing up in the zone early, exclusively with fastballs so far to Campbell. The wind and the 3-1. Misses down low, ball 4, and a leadoff walk for Noah Campbell. Gets YD started in the first.
And there it is right there, right off the jump. You realize a high velocity guy, but does have the tendency to be a little bit wild with his pitches. Noah Campbell, very comfortable taking his pitches. Didn't see anything you like, worked the leadoff walk.
Back-to-back lefties to begin this Red Sox lineup. Austin Wells now at the plate. Struggled the last couple times out at the plate, but still hitting .265. Tied for the league lead with 3 long balls. The first pitch from Hayward. This is inside to Wells. 4 straight balls from Hayward now on the mound. It's 1-0.
And when Austin Wells has the lowest average of anyone in your top 5, and a hitter of the caliber that he is considered the break in the top 5 for this pitcher. That's a rough go off the jump. The top 5 in this lineup hitting a combined .400 this Cape League season.
The 1-0. Called strike, notches the outer edge to Wells, 1-1. Wells, the Pac-12 freshman of the year, was the catcher for the Arizona Wildcats, but he's a jack of all trades in the field, has played both corner outfield spots as well for YD, and play the corner infield as well. A ball and a strike to him now. Campbell leads from first. The pitch. Off speed. Hayward goes down on the mound. It misses outside. Hayward lost his footing out there on the hill. He's back up and okay. 2 balls and a strike to Wells. Not sure if that was off speed or just a dip in velocity due to the tumbling of Hayward on the mound. Nonetheless, 2-1 to Wells. From the stretch, Campbell a decent lead from first. The pitch. Wells skies it in the air, pretty deep center field. Hurtubise moves a few feet to his right, settles straight away, and he makes the catch. A deep fly out from Wells is the first out in the top of the first, still scoreless.
From the University of Georgia, Riley King.
King 6 for 13 for YD, third baseman from Georgia. He has hit in all 4 games that he's played for the Red Sox so far, a 4-game hit streak. Yet to get an extra base knock, however. Check on first. Campbell's back. Cavadas overthrows the 6'6" Hayward on the mound on the way back.
Hard to do.
Both those throws were high. Hayward's check on first, high to Cavadas, and then he sailed it back. Hard to do, like you said. 6'6", standing on the mound. The first pitch to King. Campbell takes off. It misses in the dirt, and Campbell will go to second standing up. No throw from Rothenberg. Campbell swipes second base, his fourth steal of the year for the Red Sox, and he's in scoring position with one down.
Got a great pitch to run on there. Did Campbell at first. After the check, off to time is the best time to go. You don't see people, especially in the Cape League, check over twice in a row too often. Got a pitch in the dirt. Not much Rothenberg could do behind the dish.
A breaking ball that missed down to King. Here's the 1-0. Another pitch in the dirt. This one chested down by Rothenberg. 2 balls, no strikes. On the pitch that Campbell took off on, Rothenberg tried to pick it and throw out Campbell, but he couldn't quite scoop the baseball cleanly. Top of the first, 1 out. Riley King at the plate, covered in shadows. Hayward still highlighted by the sun on the mound. The 2-0. King drives it in the air to left field, going back on it, Weimer into the left center gap. He's there. He makes the catch. Back-to-back flyouts from YD, and there's now 2 outs in the first for Andrew Eister.
Number 11, the right fielder from the University of South Carolina, Andrew Eister.
Eister has been one of the key men in this YD lineup. Hit the game-tying home run a few days ago against Falmouth in the second game of their split of the doubleheader, the game that the YD Red Sox won. He had 2 home runs that day, one in both games of the doubleheader. Campbell on second, 2 outs. Good speed there. His South Carolina teammate Andrew Eister at the plate. Hayward deals. Called strike on a fastball. It's 0-1. Eister just shy of tying for the league batting title. He's hitting .462, which would lead the league by almost 100 points, which is the few plate appearances short. Hayward brings the 0-1. This fastball misses low, a ball and a strike.
Yeah, would need 4 at-bats today, as yesterday's game was not official after getting called very early on. Would need 4 at-bats today to get him to 30 on the year, which would be just over the 29.7 at-bats for 11 games on this Cape League season for YD.
1 ball, 1 strike. Hayward kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Eister over the top of an off-speed. And now Hayward in command, a ball and 2 strikes. Eister, the leading hitter this year for South Carolina. Campbell struggled as a Gamecock this spring. But they have combined torn up the Cape League as YD Red Sox. The 1-2. Misses in the dirt. Rothenberg sliding to his right. A great backhanded stop to keep Campbell on second base. I think that might have caught Rothenberg on the bare part of the wrist, as there'll be a slight pause as he shakes it off. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Eister. Set up inside. Rothenberg had to flail into the left-handed batter's box. That definitely caught him square on the flesh.
Yeah, that one skipped about like 3 or 4 feet in front of home plate. Not much Rothenberg could do other than just to try to get his body in front. And I agree, it did look like it caught him there on the arm as he's still kind of taking some inventory there on his throwing hand.
2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Campbell on second base, Eister at the plate. Hayward sets at the chest. 1 look to second and deals. Called strike 3. Eister frozen at a pitch at the knees. YD strands Campbell on second in the top of the first inning. Bottom of the first. Coming up next, this is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the first inning, YD scoreless in the top of the first, and they take the field for the first time today behind Jack Leftwich, the right-handed pitcher from Florida. Leftwich comes in. He started one game, only allowed 4 hits against Catuit, but all 4 hits were solo home runs for a 7.20 ERA after just one start here on the Cape. Here's the lineup. He'll go against from Harwich today. Jacob Hurtubise, the center fielder, leads off. Joey Weimer out of Cincinnati bats second. Daniel Cabrera, the right fielder, bats third. Tyler Keenan is in the cleanup spot. Nico Cavadas follows him at first base. Christian Fedko then bats fifth out of UConn. Michael Rothenberg follows from Duke. Chris Lanzilli, the designated hitter out of Wake Forest, bats eighth. And Hal Hughes, the shortstop, batting ninth today for the Mariners. Leftwich, we jokingly said, Andre, if he gives up 4 hits again today, he'll be okay. Just can't let all 4 leave the yard.
Yeah, they were not cheapies, granted, at YD. They all look good, but certainly got tagged on the 4 hits that he did give up, but otherwise he pitched very well.
Jacob Hurtubise, batting from the left side out of the United States Military Academy, takes a first pitch, called strike, 0-1. Both these pitchers today, Hayward for Harwich, Leftwich for YD, gonna crank it up at least 90 miles an hour with the fastball. The 0-1 misses low, a ball and a strike. Hurtubise just 0 for 2. He got hit by a pitch and scored a run in his only appearance thus far this year. The 1-1. Chopped softly left side. Riley King moves to his left, scoops it up, sidearms to first in time to get the speedy Hurtubise for the first out here in the home half of the first inning. Let's meet the rest of the YD defense now behind Leftwich. As I said in the first, Austin Wells is in left. Jake Palmer roams center field, and Andrew Eister is in right. Riley King, who just made the first out at third base. Drew Swift and Gavin Dugas are up the middle for YD, and Jack Wold is at first. Noah Cardenas does the catching for the Red Sox today. First pitch, called strike to Joey Weimer, 0-1 from Leftwich. Weimer has hit the ball well for the Mariners so far. 321 hitter with a home run, the 0-1. This one chopped right side. Wold couldn't see it. Now he scoops it, flipped to Leftwich. He extends the right leg to first in time to get Weimer. Wold lost the chopper in the sun for a moment, shining right in his eyes behind home plate, but he was able to find it, make the clean pick, and the late flip to Leftwich gets Weimer.
Yeah, that's an impressive play, and as from where we're sitting is just slightly to the right of home plate. We are sort of in that same eye line, and it has been beating down on the side of our faces for a couple hours now. And you see the shadows, first base completely in the sun right now. That was a great play from Old, shielding his eyes. A tough pick there, too, just to get that scoop before tossing it over.
First pitch fouled back by the lefty Daniel Cabrera, as Leftwich wasn't that close to the bag once he received the scoop from Wold, but the 6'3" frame helped the Florida man extend the right leg and just in time to beat Weimer. Now the 0-1. This is inside to the lefty Cabrera, a ball and a strike. Cabrera, 3 hits and 10 at-bats so far as a Mariner. He also has 1 home run. Bases clear, 2 down. The 1-1 off the plate inside, 2 balls and a strike. We're scoreless in the bottom of the first between Harwich and YD. An Eastern Division matchup here in the Cape League. 2-1 to Cabrera. Fastball, broke his bat, popped up on the infield. Drew Swift racing forward, loses his hat onto the infield grass, and he makes the squeeze. Leftwich works a 1-2-3 first inning on the mound for the Red Sox. Wold, Dugas, and Cardenas due up in the road half of the second when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the second, we're scoreless at White House Field between the YD Red Sox and the Harwich Mariners. Brian McLaughlin and Andre Sims here bringing you the call between these two Eastern Division foes in the Cape League. Jack Wold to lead off for the Red Sox from the left side against Buddy Hayward to begin this second. Righty Hayward from the windup. First pitch on its way to Wold. Fouls it back out of play, 0-1. Wold's hitting .313 to lead qualified hitters in this YD lineup. One home run all the way back on opening day against the Katuitt Kettleers. Hayward with the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Wold goes after a fastball at the eyes. A tomahawk chop, but he comes up with just air. It's 0-2. YD at 6-4-1, Harwich 6-6. The 0-2 to Wold. Again goes after a high pitch. This time he just gets a piece and fouls it off. YD tied with Orleans and Brewster in the Eastern Division for second place. All three at 13 points. Now the 0-2. Wold lays off the fastball up this time, a ball and 2 strikes. Harwich sitting just 3 points back of first place, but they're currently in the cellar with 12 points. Another 1-2. Driven in the air, pretty deep right field. Wold got a hold of that one. Cabrera going back. He's near the warning track. He reaches up and he makes the catch. The cavernous gaps of White House Field hold Jack Wold in the ballpark. A deep fly out for the first out here in the second. Cabrera had to get on his horse back into right center.
Second baseman from LSU, Gavin Dugas.
And that is long gone at Red Wilson. That is well into the trees that line the outfield in Yarmouth, but alas, just a fly out here.
First pitch to Dugas, bounced foul. Did that just hit our crowd mic?
Nope, but it hit the fence directly in front of our crowd mic.
0-1 to Dugas. That little dunk you heard, was that good at recreating it? The 0-1. Swing and a miss to Dugas. He's down 0-2. That ball just slowly rolled right at us. And our crowd mic sitting below the table almost got hit.
Really could not have been any more square to the position of our crowd mic either.
The 0-2 swung on and missed over the top of a curveball. Dugas goes down on strikes for the second out here in the second. 0-0 here in Harwich between the Mariners and Red Sox.
Number 8.
Second strikeout for Hayward on the mound.
Noah Cardenas.
2 outs now for Noah Cardenas. He's 1 for 3, the catcher from UCLA. Singled in his first at-bat a few days ago against Bourne. Back behind the plate today for the Red Sox. Hayward from the windup. First pitch to Cardenas, fouled off out of play down the right side. 0-1. Cardenas got the first shutout for the Red Sox of the year on the mound. Trent Denholm went 4 innings. John Beller out of the bullpen went 5 in a 2-0 win over the Braves. Here's the 0-1. Fastball called strike, 0-2. Hayward's locked in this second frame. But now through 10 innings of work behind the plate, Cardenas, a perfect scoreless 10 innings.
Can't argue with that.
He's a solid hitter as well. Hit .375 for the Bruins. The 0-2. Misses down and away, a ball and 2 strikes. And between him and Austin Wells, 2 talented freshman catchers, hard to imagine there's a better duo of backstops, even among the rest of the talented Cape.
Absolutely. These are 2 guys that performed very well, not only for their teams, but
1-2, swung on and missed by Cardenas. He thinks he got a piece. Bounced away from Rothenberg. He'll throw to Cavadas at first for the third out. Cardenas thought he fouled it off, but to no avail. Second strikeout of the frame, third on the day for Hayward. Red Sox go in order in the second. We're scoreless through 1.5. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Okay. Oh, I just went full screen. It's okay. Bottom of the second between Harwich and YD. Harwich coming to bat for the second time today against Jack Leftwich on the mound. It's Tyler Keenan, Nico Cavadas, and Christian Fedko. All set to do battle with the righty from Florida. Leftwich worked a clean 1-2-3. Bottom of the first. First pitch to the lefty, Keenan. Misses upstairs. 1-0. Leftwich works quickly. A ball and no strikes to Keenan. The 1-0 is a called strike on the outer edge. Our home plate umpire today, Tim Carey. Jeff Kenny's at first. Mark Delaney is at third base. Keenan, the Ole Miss third baseman. The 1-1 fouled off out of play. A ball and 2 strikes now to Keenan. Keenan 3 for 12. He has a double and a home run for Harwich. Now the 1-2. Ripped right side. Wold moves to his right. Fields flips to Leftwich. This time a little more routine. Leftwich stomps on first base for a clean first out of the second. Wold saw that one all the way off the bat that time. Just moved a few steps over and then the routine flip.
Number 12, the first baseman from Notre Dame, Nico Cavadas.
Now Cavadas, powerful first baseman from Notre Dame. Hitting .281 as a Mariner. He has 1 home run. He's driven in 6. Leftwich winds. First pitch to Cavadas. Ripped in the air, pretty deep left center field. Racing over Jake Palmer. Now the left fielder Wells is over into the gap, and he makes the catch. Cavadas skied that one, but another ball that in this deep dimensions at White House Field was run down. 2 outs. It's 330 down either line, 400 to dead center. We don't have the exact measurements in the alleys, but probably the deepest park on the Cape.
I would say so, save for the entire county that resides in Orleans center field. But I think side to side, corner to corner, I think is probably the deepest.
First pitch to Christian Fedko. He crushes that one down the left field line. Wells going back. He's over. Fair ball. Home run. Christian Fedko just keeps it inside the left field line. And that is now 5 hits given up by Jack Leftwich. 5 solo home runs by Leftwich on the mound. Just an odd little quirk of his early Cape Cod League season. It's 1-0 Harwich.
Yeah, that's a streak he's just got to snap. I mean, I'm sure that is probably annoying him to no end. And it's almost it feels hard to do.
Yeah, at this point, I would just want to give up another hit. Just somebody get a single off me. A 2-out home run for Fedko, his first long ball of the year. 1-0 Harwich, bottom of the second. First pitch skips down and in to Michael Rothenberg, the catcher from Duke, 1-0. We've had a lot of balls hit hard today. Fedko hit that one all of 330 down the left field line, just snuck inside the foul pole. Now the 1-0 to Rothenberg. Fastball knee high, pours it in for strike 1. Rothenberg 2 for 11, struck out 5 times without a walk as a Mariner. Now the 1-1 from Leftwich. Cut on and missed way late on the fastball. A ball and 2 strikes. Leftwich with the bases clear, brings the 1-2. Just misses outside. Cardenas was strutting to the dugout. Tim Carey said, just missed, not so fast. That's ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Leftwich. Chopped softly right side. Leftwich will field it himself. Underhand flip to Wold in time for the 3rd out of the 2nd inning. But Harwich strikes first on a solo shot from Christian Fedko. 1-0 Mariners after 2 here at White House Field. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Top of the third inning here from White House Field in sunny Harwich, Massachusetts. 8-9-1 due up for YD in their half of the third as Jake Palmer will stroll to the plate to take his first at-bat of the day. 1-0 our score here on the solo home run in the last half inning. As the sun continues to set, the mound is completely engulfed in shadows, although second base, first base still very much in the path of the sun here as the trees lining the back of this field, casting a very oddly shaped shadow on the infield.
There's like a strip between home plate and the mound. That can't be easy for these batters to hit.
First pitch to Palmer. Fastball in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1.
It's just lighting up a section. As soon as the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, it's going to be dark. Then it gets illuminated for a moment, and then back to the dark.
Palmer skies one into shallow left center field. Hughes coming out. Hurtaby's coming in, and he'll ultimately make the play, and that's the first out of the inning.
But the hitters seem to be swinging it well. I mean, we've had a couple really loud outs. Wold last half for the Red Sox, launched one into right center. Then last half inning, both Cavadas and Fedko, who eventually hit the home run, all were able to barrel it up.
So now that'll bring up Drew Swift, shortstop out of Arizona State, as the first pitch is a breaking ball in there for a called strike, 0-1. Swift on the year, hitting 167, but a part of a very, very good defensive infield for YD this season. Hard to keep his glove out of the lineup as the second pitch is in there for a ball, 1-1.
And with Luke Waddell now off to a Team USA tryout, it looks like Swift might be the shortstop moving forward for the Red Sox.
And he lines one into center field. Coming on is Hurtaby's, and he'll dive and make the catch for the second out of the inning. They always say the hardest play to make is a ball hit right at you as a center fielder, and he came in well, battled the sun, and laid out with a headlong dive to make the play. Well done for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, you got a great read on that ball. Swift really barreled it. Good swing by Swift. Just a tough luck play for him, and tough luck second out. Another ball hit hard here off Hayward, which just hasn't found the ground.
So back to the top of the order. Noah Campbell steps in for his second at-bat of the day. Worked a walk in his first plate appearance as he takes the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1. Should Campbell reach, Austin Wells waits on deck. The 0-1 is low and away for a ball, 1-1. A lot of solid contact for YD early in this one, just haven't found the green grass to reward it. The 1-1 to Campbell is swung on and missed as he went over the top of an off-speed pitch, and it's 1-2.
That's a great breaking ball. Probably the sharpest we've seen from Hayward yet. Really was able to start that one in the zone and get it to dive out of it.
Left center field gap is wide open for Campbell. They're shading him to pull from the left side. And the 1-2. Fastball in the outer half for a called strike 3, and that'll end the frame. So once again, Hayward making quick work of this YD order. Only allowed one base runner through 3. We head to the bottom of the third on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the third inning here in Harwich, Massachusetts. The Mariners lead 1-0 over the YD Red Sox, courtesy of a Christian Fedko solo home run in the bottom of the second as Jack Leftwich is out for his third inning of work We'll see how he bounced back after surrendering the solo home run, the 5th solo home run he's given up this Cape League season. And those are the only hits he's given up. 8-9-1 for Harwich here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Chris Lanzilli from Wake Forest leads things off. He's DHing today and swings over the top of an off-speed pitch, and it's 0-1. Lanzilli will be followed by Hal Hughes and then Jacob Hurtubise, who we saw make an excellent play in center field for the second out of the inning in the last half. Lanzilli stands very crouched in the right-hander's batter's box and waves and misses at the second pitch, and it's 0-2.
Early reliance on the off speed so far in this 3rd inning from Leftwich.
The 0-2. Lays off the breaking ball low and away, and it's now 1-2. Chris Lanzilli, a Massachusetts native from Stoneham. The 1-2. Checks his swing and lays off another off speed, 4 straight off speed to begin the at bat, and it's now even at 2-2. Harwich in the cream-colored home uniforms. The 2-2 is flared off the right-hand side, and the count holds. All cream with the blue lettering with the red trim, red, white, and blue stirrups on this team, most of which wearing high socks. YD in the road reds, as always, white pants with the red trim down the sides. The 2-2. Fastball blown by him, and that'll be the first out of the inning as Lanzilli goes down swinging.
After so much off speed in that at-bat, just decided to rear back and go with the fastball. Like you said, blew it by him. That's a good pitch. First strikeout of the day for Leftwich.
Hal Hughes now will step in, shortstop from LSU. Hitting just 167 on this Cape League season. And first pitch to him is a fastball in there for a called strike, 0-1. Leftwich now, after giving up the solo home run, will now have to don the pink sparkly backpack that the pitching staff has decided to make their token for the season, as the last pitcher to give up the last home run will be donning the backpack until another pitcher does. So Carlos Lamelli is now off the hook for the backpack.
Lamelli was embracing it, though. I think he kind of enjoyed it.
I would agree. You saw him walking out with it at Bourne a few days ago, and he looked proud to be wearing it. I personally would have just thought it was his.
I honestly, the first time I saw him wearing it, did think it was his and thought, oh, I'm going to have to ask him about that in the pink backpack, because he was rocking it. But now he might have to get it wrestled away by Jack Leftwich.
1-2 the count to Hughes as he swings and fouls another pitch right over our heads into the tree line behind us, and it remains 1-2.
That is a pack of kids going after those foul balls today.
That is certainly one of the most iconic images when you think of the Cape Cod Baseball League, is the hordes of kids chasing after foul balls as Hughes flares another one down the first base line and out of play. It's still 1-2. But at every park, it seems like, whether it be Red Wilson here at White House, Eldridge Park especially, we saw that in Orleans, all over the place, kids in dead sprints chasing after foul balls, and who can blame them?
Eldridge Park on that hill, it was getting dangerous. It was full contact foul ball chasing.
Yeah, the rain certainly didn't help. The hills were wet. Kids were sliding around, and the 2-2 is in there for a called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts to begin the third for Leftwich, and they're 2 down in the inning.
Number 30, the center fielder from West Point.
So that'll cycle over the lineup as we get back to the top of the order. Jacob Hurtubise, Army cadet, stepping in the box. Grounded out to Riley King to begin the home half of the first. Squares to bunt, and the first pitch is high and wide, and it's 1-0.
So I make a great catch in center field as well. So showing off the defense, yet to get a hit as a Cape Leaguer, but thrown right in the top of this lineup, a speedster at the top.
1-0 pitch is a breaking ball, spun in there for a called strike, and it's 1-1. Pitching, if there is a weakness on this YD team, has been that, especially out of the bullpen, but overall is the 1-1 is chopped foul 1-2. This team is third worst in earned runs on the Cape so far this season.
I'm wondering, though, if the shutout they had the other night from Denholm, who, of course, isn't here anymore, but John Beller, who's one of the vocal leaders of this staff, kind of gets some momentum rolling.
Awkward swing and a miss there from Hurtubise, and Leftwich strikes out the side. So a very good bounce back inning from Leftwich after giving up the solo home run. The score remains 1-0. We'll be right back with the fourth on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the fourth inning, and well, Brian, my day has been made as we just got the opportunity to pet an adorable golden retriever named Bristol. Incredibly cute.
Oh, yeah.
That is another great part about Cape Cod. A lot of just incredibly cute dogs walking around at every single game. Every park's dog friendly.
Part of the atmosphere.
You just love to see it as Austin Wells steps in and leads things off for the Red Sox. The appeal to first as he checks his swing on a breaking ball low. Third base umpire Mark Delaney says he didn't. And it's 1-0. 2-3-4 for the Red Sox here. Wells, King, and Eister. The count runs to 2-0 as the fastball is high and wide. Wells, 3 home runs this Cape League season, tied with Andrew Eister for the team lead. As he looks at a 2-0 fastball in there for a called strike, 2-1. 2-1 pitch is another fastball in the outer half, and it's 2-2.
That one Wells couldn't do anything with. Just a great pitcher's pitch by Hayward, painting the lower and outside part of the zone to Wells. Now he's got to go to work with 2 strikes.
Much better outing so far for Hayward compared to his first start against Chatham, in which he gave up 3 hits, 4 runs. 3 of them were earned. 4 walks and 5 strikeouts.
Well, the first inning, he threw more balls than strikes, and it felt like that YD could be patient, get up in counts, but he's been in the zone since.
2-2 on the ground to second base. Fedko will quickly throw over to first, and Wells is down 4-3.
Another ball hit hard by Wells. The fly out to center back in the first was also barreled up. But back-to-back times right at a fielder and hasn't been able to do anything with it.
Riley King.
So Riley King will step in. Hitting .462 entering today. 0 for 1 as he flew out on a loud out number 2 in the first inning to left field. Way out in front of an off-speed pitch, missed it by about a foot, and it's 0-1.
He was sitting fastball. I mean, that fastball is in the low to mid-90s, topping out around 95 from Hayward, so I get sitting on it.
Out in front of another off-speed pitch, and it's now 0-2.
Those are both effective. They start in the zone and then drop down below the knees of King, so he really can't do anything with them.
The 0-2. Breaking ball in there at the knees for a called strike 3, and Hayward making quick work of this YD lineup.
I think that was the changeup that time as it broke in towards King. First time we've really seen that from Hayward, unleashing it on the second time through the order. So that's yet another pitch he can go with. No wonder he's a highly touted guy here on the Cape, has the size, some great stuff on the mound, and he's making this great Whitey offense looks silly through now into the fourth.
So 2 down here in the Whitey half of the fourth as Eister first pitch stringing on the ground. Hughes will field on a hop across the body to first. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Buddy Hayward. Hayward cruising through 4 innings. This Whitey lineup has been shut down so far. We head to the bottom of the fourth on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Joey Weimer.
Home half of the fourth inning here, 2-3-4 as both these pitchers have worked well, both only just allowing 1 base runner so far in their respective outings as Joey Weimer steps in, waving the bat high above his head and waves and misses at the first pitch, 0-1.
Just so happens that 1 base runner hit the ball over the fence for Harwich against Jack Leftwich. He still hasn't worked from the stretch today.
Leftwich the 0-1 is a breaking ball low and away, and it's 1-1.
For Whitey, the first base runner was their first hitter of the game. A walk to Campbell. He got to second but was stranded. They're still hitless.
Breaking ball misses off the plate and in, and it's now 2-1. Weimer stands high, straight up in the right-hander's batter's box, waving the bat high above his head before taking a long stride to prepare. And a mighty swing and a miss there on the fastball, and it's 2-2.
And before the ball's released, he goes a massive leg kick, brings the hands down almost together with his knee before loading up and taking the cut.
2-2 on its way. Pops foul and over our heads into the trees, and we'll do it again. Leftwich working quickly on the mound out of the windup. That one sails way high over the head of Weimer, back to the backstop, and the count runs full.
I think that one slipped a little bit. Had to wipe his hand off after releasing that one.
Full count. Breaking ball, cut on and missed, and that's another strikeout now. 4 straight for Jack Leftwich as he's settled in.
Yeah, he's really settled in. I think it's the off-speed stuff. He was relying on the fastball first time through. He's releasing this off-speed, and Harwich way out in front, haven't been able to touch it.
Daniel Cabrera now steps in. Right fielder today. Came into the day at 300 on the year. As he chops this one, and it'll roll foul. 0-1. The strikeout numbers have been good for Leftwich early on in this Cape League season, missing a lot of bats. Like we said, Brian, he has pitched very well in his 2 outings thus far, only surrendering the long ball as the off-speed looks like a changeup there is cut on and missed, and it's 0-2.
You eliminate those home run balls, and he's probably the best pitcher on this staff so far. He's been in the strike zone, swing and miss stuff.
The 0-2. Fastball misses just low, below the knees, and it's now 1-2. And to your point, Brian, a lot of the things that this YD pitching staff has struggled with so far this season is working behind hitters. We've seen a lot of 3-ball counts, 2-0 counts, things of that nature as the 1-2 is chopped foul towards the YD dugout. But walks have been killer for this team in this season. We've seen a lot of innings extended because of walks. We've seen big innings happen because of walks. So that hasn't been a problem for Leftwich as he's primarily been working ahead of these hitters. That one's chopped on the ground. Swift coming in will field it over to Wold, and that's the second out of the inning.
You're right. It's exactly why Leftwich hasn't given up a big inning. And a lot of times as a starting pitcher, you're taught to avoid that big inning, the crooked numbers. It's just he's left the fastball up in the zone a couple times, and people have been able to get some air underneath it for these home runs, a couple of which are just because of the short ballpark at YD, but not a cheapie here today for Christian Fedko on his solo shot.
So that'll bring up Tyler Keenan as he skies the first pitch down the left field line and out of play, and it's 0-1. Keenan out of Ole Miss. Grounded to Jack Wold, who made an excellent play on a tough chopper in inning number 1, battling the sun. Oh, 1 pitch is in there for a called strike, 0-2. Very quickly, 0-2. Leftwich out of the windup. Fastball in there for a called strike 3 at the knees, and that's 5 strikeouts and 6 batters for Leftwich. We're through 4. Very quickly, I might add, as both pitchers are cruising. Just 1 hit between the two. And we'll be right back with the top of the 5th on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Top of the 5th. It's 1-0. Harwich as YD comes to bat in the 5th inning, still against Buddy Hayward. He has a no-hitter through 4 innings going and has sat down the last 12 men he's faced. The only blemish for Hayward so far, a leadoff walk to start this ball game against Noah Campbell. Since then, he's been perfect on the mound. It's Wolds, Dugas, and Cardenas due up for the Red Sox here in the 5th. Only 1 hit for the Mariners on the other side of things as they lead 1-0. First pitch to Wold, sharply hit right side. Cavadas, a great snag, and he'll step on the first base bag. A 1-hopper to Cavadas at first, threw the glove at it, made a great stop. 1 down in the 5th.
Number 2, the second baseman.
1 down now in the 5th, and Gavin Dugas at the plate. Dugas struck out swinging in the 2nd. Here's the first pitch to Dugas. Called strike on a fastball. It's 0-1. Now it's going to be a visit out on the mound between Rothenberg and Hayward. Dugas 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, and now they're actually going to maybe a bit of pain out on the mound with Hayward. They're going to call out manager for Harwich. Harwich on top 1-0. It's a no-hitter going for the Mariners here in the 5th for Buddy Hayward, and he's been dominant, but some discomfort perhaps on the mound here, Andre.
Yeah, he very quickly after that pitch motioned over to the dugout, and he was the one that initially made the gesture saying, come out here. So obviously he felt something that didn't feel right. Now they want to talk about it.
It's an 0-1 count to Gavin Dugas. Now the entire infield's huddled around Hayward on the mound, and the Harwich bullpen going to have to get up in a hurry, it looks like. He was cruising, but you're right. After that first pitch to Dugas, just felt something, and you don't want to test your limits here in summer ball. Hayward showed great stuff tonight, and now Harwich going to have some time to get things up and going in their bullpen. You definitely don't want to see that, and you want to make sure everybody's healthy here on the Cape. So there will be a pitching change for the Mariners. You don't like to see that for Hayward, but Whitey's offense all of a sudden has to feel like a weight's off their shoulders as they were getting mowed down by Hayward out on the mound. It will be a fresh arm for Harwich. When we return, we'll have Gavin Dugas at the plate with an 0-1 count to him. We'll get you the new Mariner on the mound when we come back after this short break on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at White House Field, we're in the top of the fifth inning, 1-0 Harwich. Nick Zwok is the new man on the mound from Xavier for the Harwich Mariners. He's a left-handed pitcher from Monticello, Minnesota. And Andre, Buddy Hayward, has to exit after 4 1/3. He had not given up a hit after setting down 13 straight Red Sox, including 5 strikeouts before feeling a bit of discomfort and having to exit. And that's never something you like to see. And we were in for what felt like another pitcher's duel between him and Jack Leftwich, who had only allowed 1 hit through 4.
Yeah, it was honestly fun to watch. I mean, a high-quality pitcher's duel is always really kind of gets you fired up when the pitchers are really dominating in that way. It's just something so different in baseball, and he was absolutely mowing down this lineup. And for a pitcher of his caliber, not just in context of the Cape, but in context of just what he's done for his school and here on the Cape, you always hate to see someone feel the need to remove themselves from a game. It's one thing when a trainer comes out and says, yeah, you're done. But it's another thing when someone feels something and it alarms them to the point where they feel the need to remove themselves. And that's what's always concerning. So you hope he's okay. You hope it's nothing too serious. But it looked like we were in for a treat.
Now Nick Zwok on the mound, a reliever from Xavier. He has a fastball in the low 90s. So far for Harwich this season, he's made 1 appearance out of the bullpen. He went 2 innings, struck out 3 in 2 scoreless innings against Brewster. It was a 4-2 Brewster Whitecaps win amidst their 6-game win streak. Zwok enters with a 1-run lead, looking to continue the great performance that Buddy Hayward was having on the mound. Gavin Dugas is at the plate for YD. The count is no balls and 1 strike to Dugas. He struck out swinging back against Hayward in the 2nd inning, and will get his hacks now against the lefty Zwok out of the pen, who had all the time he needed to warm up. So he's now back beyond the mound. Looks like we're ready to get back underway here from White House Field. Top of the 5th inning, it's 1-0 Harwich. 0-1 count to Dugas. Infield almost completely covered now in shade aside from just the first base bag. Zwok will work from the windup. Here's the 0-1. Dugas takes a called strike at the knees, and it's quickly 0-2. Dugas has some pop from the right side, 5'9", 199 at the plate. Chokes up now, down in the count, 0-2. The pitch inside, it misses Dugas. Dropped by Rothenberg, but it's ball 1, 1-2. Hayward went 4 1/3 innings, no runs, no hits, 1 walk, 5 Ks. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Dugas goes down swinging. 2nd strikeout for him today, and Zwok retires the first man he faces on the mound.
Number 8, the catcher from UCLA, Noah Cardenas.
Noah Cardenas. 2 outs, bases clear for the Red Sox. Still in search of their first hit. Cardenas struck out swinging on a ball in the dirt. And in the 2nd. Here's the first pitch to him in the 5th. Fastball misses high and tight, ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Cardenas. Here's the pitch. This is low. 2 balls and no strikes to the UCLA hitter. 375 average for the Bruins at 3 home runs, 6 doubles. We apologize for the technical difficulties back here at White House Field. A 1-0 count to Riley Tirada. Jake Palmer here in the Cardenas on first base for the Red Sox. Tirada pinch hitting for the top of the fifth. Again, walk on the mound. The 1-0. This is downstairs to Tirada. 2 balls, no strikes. Tirada, the third baseman from Dayton, walk on the mound. Palmer flew out to center field in his only at bat today. The 2-0. Another web gem for Jacob Hurtubise. Into the right center gap. Circled the line drive from Tirada and steals 1-0 Harwich. Red Sox baseball. The Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom of the fifth, still Jack Leftwich on the mound for YD. Cavadas, Fedko, Rothenberg due up for the Mariners. They lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the fifth inning against Jack Leftwich. Just one hit apiece between these two sides. YD was only a single from Noah Cardenas. And the Harwich Mariners hit the 5th home run this year off Jack Leftwich on a solo shot for Christian Fedko. All 5 hits off Leftwich this year have left the yard for solo home runs. They're the only runs he has given up. Leftwich winds. The first pitch to Cavadas, an off speed that misses high and away. Ball 1. Cavadas flew out to deep center to Austin Wells in his first at-bat today in the second. Here's the 1-0. Rips this one fouled on the left field line and a ball and a strike. Harwich has dipped into their bullpen after Buddy Hayward had to exit the game in some discomfort. He was dealing. Nick Zwok now on the mound for them. Still Jack Leftwich, the 1-1. Fisted, shallow right center field. Going back on it, Gavin Dugas towards the right field line, and the second baseman makes the catch for the Red Sox. Ranging into shallow right field for the first out here in the fifth.
Number 21.
Good range from Dugas to make the first out here in the inning. Now with one down, it's Christian Fedko. He's the man who roped one down the left field line, snuck out to 330 feet in the left field corner for the only runoff of Leftwich. First pitch, breaking ball in the dirt, is swung over the top of by Fedko, and it's 0-1. Fedko has really swung it well, the second baseman from UConn here on the Cape. Now the 0-1 from Leftwich. Another off speed, misses down and away, a ball and a strike.
Fedko, member of a very talented baseball family, as his brother Kyler plays for Bourne. We saw him just a few days ago.
Kyler went 0 for 3 against the Red Sox in that one, the 1-1. Misses low and away, 2 balls in a strike. But again, nobody in that lineup was hitting the ball for Bourne a few nights ago against Trent Denholm and John Beller. 2-1 count to Kyler's brother, Christian. Here's the pitch. Fouled off, right side out of play. Have to imagine there's some friendly competition between the brothers, both getting the invite to the Cape Cod League, but not for the same team. They play their school ball together at UConn, so the potential to compete against each other for probably the first time in their lives this summer. Here's the 2-2 from Leftwich. Fouled back out of play, and we'll see another 2-2 offer.
Fedco just barely got a piece of that one.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 1-0 Harwich leads. Here's the pitch from Leftwich. Line drive down the left field line, another base hit. Over to pick it up is Andrew Eister. He just moved from right to left field, and he'll relay it back to the infield to hold Christian Fedco to a single. 2 for 2 today, the only 2 hits of the game for Harwich, now off the bat of Christian Fedco. And that's the first hit off Jack Leftwich. It's not a home run.
From Duke, Mike.
Maybe the monkey off his back now.
Yeah, a little bit. And some defensive changes for the Red Sox in this half inning as Jake Palmer's day is done. As you mentioned, Eister moving over from right to left. Riley King goes from third to right. Tirada comes in at third, and Austin Wells making his center field debut, as we have now seen him in all 3 outfield spots.
So that's Eister in left, Wells in center, King in right. 1-0 pitch, line to right field, back-to-back base hits for the Mariners. Fedco round second, he'll go to third. The throw comes into third base, not in time. Rothenberg, who laced it into right field, will stay put at first base with a single. So now runners on the corners, 1 down for the Mariners as they look to extend their 1-0 lead.
From Wake Forest, Chris Lanzilli.
With runners on the corners and 1 down, signs given out by Noah Cardenas behind the plate to the entire infield. The batter, Chris Lanzilli, for the Mariners. He struck out swinging against Leftwich in the third and the only time to the plate today. Leftwich will work from the stretch. He deals. First pitch, swing and a miss. Loud pop from Cardenas' glove behind home plate. Leftwich sitting 90-93, reared back for something extra there. Oh and 1, he deals. Popped back out of play, and it's 0-2 now to Lanzilli.
It's a crucial moment here for Leftwich and this Whitey Red Sox team. Only down a run, very, very manageable for this offense, especially facing a new pitcher. And if Leftwich can strand these 2 runners, maybe induce an inning-ending double play ball, that's big time for this team.
Middle infield is at double play depth here against Lanzilli. Deep crouch, the 0-2. Misses at the eyes. Ball 1.
Now the crouch is almost Jeff Bagwell-esque in the box. Really, really gets down there before extending up before making the swing.
Leftwich, the 1-2. Fouled off again by Lanzilli. And I didn't notice, is he on even deeper now with 2 strikes than he is less than 2 strikes?
I thought so myself in his last at-bat that he does get even more of a crouch.
Choking up on the bat. Down in the count 1-2. Runners on first and third. It's Fedco on third base, Rothenberg at first. The pitch. Breaking ball flared. Shallow center field. Going out Gavin Dugas. Now it's Drew Swift, and he makes the catch. Quickly scampers back to the infield. The shortstop for YD squeezes the second out now in the bottom of the 5th, and the runners both will have to stay put.
Yeah, that's almost as good as a strikeout there in that situation. An unproductive out. Nothing either runner could do, and now 2 down you're out of the inning with anything even to the outfield.
9-man due up in the order for the Mariners. It's Hal Hughes. 1 for 7, including a strikeout tonight for Hughes this season. 2 down now. Leftwich still working on the mound. Bottom of the 5th inning. Leftwich has thrown just under 70 pitches tonight. From the stretch, first pitch to Hughes. This is inside, ball 1. We're in a second straight pitcher's duel after we saw one a few nights ago in Bourne. A couple of cancellations in between then, but Red Sox pitcher is starting to figure it out on the mound. The 1-0. Check swing by Hughes. He did go around. Tim Carey points his finger. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last time out for Harwich, they fell to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. First win of the year for Hyannis. The 1-1 to Hughes. Called strike. He pumps in a breaking ball. 1-2 now to Hughes. Leftwich, 1 strike away from working out of this jam. Hughes from the right side. Leftwich, the tall righty on the mound. Sets a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Check swing in the dirt, scooped by Cardenas. Appeal to first, he didn't go. Jeff Kinney hands out to both sides after the appeal from Tim Carey behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Hughes. Leadoff man Jacob Hurtubise is on deck if Hughes can extend the inning. 1-0 Harwich, bottom of the 5th. Leftwich sets again. The runners take off. The 2-2 misses down and away. Cardenas will throw it back to the mound. Big jump at first by Rothenberg, and on the breaking ball, low and outside. No chance for Cardenas to cut down Rothenberg at second. So now 2 men in scoring position. Full count, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, reminiscent on the pitch that Noah Campbell ran on back in the first. Just not a great pitch to throw on for Cardenas behind the plate. Made the smart play there, not risking the throw going into center field. Just got it back to Leftwich on the mound.
Here's the 3-2. Misses down low. It actually knocks the mid off of Cardenas as he tried to frame it just below the knees of Hughes. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Jacob Hurtubise. He's played Superman twice already today in the outfield. Here's his chance to do it at the plate. Couple of web jam diving catches for Hurtubise in center. Yet to get a hit as a Mariner, but showing the value defensively. 0 for 4, including an 0 for 2 night tonight. Leftwich from the stretch with the bases juiced. First pitch grounded, back up the middle, right side of the bag. Dugas rounds it, fields. Sidearm throw to first, the stretch by Wold in time. He holds the bag as well. Harwich leaves the bases loaded in the 5th. Leftwich works himself out of the jam with a ground out to Dugas. It's 1-0. Mariners, we're through 5. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. 1-0 Harwich Mariners over the Whitey Red Sox. Top of the 6th inning. Brian McLaughlin and Andre Sims here from White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts. The Red Sox bring Swift, Campbell, and Wells to the plate as we begin the top of the 6th. Harwich leads 1-0 through 5, but they just left a golden opportunity on the table. They stranded the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th in this 1-0 game. And the Mariners are into their bullpen. And Andre, if the Red Sox come back to win this one, we can look back at that bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Swift, misses upstairs from Nick Zwak for ball 1.
Yeah, that's a big-time moment there from Leftwoods on the mound. Didn't get rattled by the jam that he got initially with runners on the corners, and then with the bases loaded at 2 out, induced the weak ground ball to get out of the inning.
1-0, a called strike from Zwak. A ball and a strike now to Swift. The wind from Zwak. Here's the 1-1. Off speed, misses upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Swift lined out to center in his only other at-bat today in the 3rd. Hit it on the nose right at Jacob Hurtubise, who came in and made a great diving catch. Now the 2-1. Bounced straight back by Swift. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swift, the shortstop for the Red Sox. From Arizona State, the 9-man in the order. Here's the 2-2. Flares it foul in off the hands down the first baseline, out of play. We'll see another 2-2 from Zwak. Really choking up on the bat with 2 strikes. The 2-2. Fouled back again by Swift. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Feels like he's starting to put it together at the plate, Andre. After a slow start, barreled one up last time. Good 2-strike approach here. He's put some good swings on it recently.
Absolutely. He's been putting together a lot of quality at-bats at the bottom of the order.
The 2-2. Oh, that's called strike 3. Freezes Swift. He was backing up, seemingly out of the way, but the fastball gets him looking for the first out in the top of the 6th inning. That brings up the top of the order for the Red Sox with 1 down. Oh, Campbell. Campbell will hit from the right side, the switch hitter, against the lefty Nick Zwak on the mound. Campbell walked and struck out against Buddy Hayward. He'll square to bunt. First pitch, misses low. Pulled back the bat at the last moment. That will draw Tyler Keenan in up towards the grass at 3rd. 1-0 Mariners, top of the 6th. The 1-0. Fouled back by Campbell, out of play. 1-1. Campbell probably more comfortable from the left side than the right. We've seen him get most of his starts so far this year against righties on the mound. The 1-1 from Zwak. Breaking ball misses in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Campbell struggled this year at South Carolina, hitting just a bit above 230. After a great freshman year and a great season on the Cape. The 2-1. This is down. 3 balls and a strike. But he struggled for the Gamecocks, putting it together. Back up at the Cape once again. 3 balls and a strike to Campbell. Austin Wells waits on deck. 1 out here in the 6th. Here's the pitch. Campbell pops it up, first base side, out of play. The count runs full with 1 down.
No, I'm just a big baseball fan.
Zwak came in midway through the 5th in relief for Hayward, who had to exit with some discomfort. Zwak allowed 1 hit, but has retired everyone else he's faced. The 3-2. Campbell flares it, first base line, foul ball. Going to drop in play, but wide of the right field line. And we'll see another 3-2 offering from Zwak.
Bike trail. Bike trail goes right through Orleans.
Zwak still from the windup. Base is clear. Another 3-2. Down low, ball 4. Great at bat by Noah Campbell. He draws a 1-out walk. Second time he's reached today with a free pass, and that brings up Austin Wells.
Another quality at-bat there from Noah Campbell at the top of the order, and that's what he's there to do at the top of the order. See a lot of pitches, really set the table for the guys behind him, like Austin Wells, who's at bat right now. Second walk of the day for Campbell.
Fourth walk of the season for Campbell. And now Wells to the plate with one out to face the lefty-lefty matchup in Zwock. Wells is 0 for 2, but he struck the ball well both times to the plate. The first pitch, breaking ball right down the middle, strike one. Wells flew out to deep center field to Hurtubise in the first and hit a sharp ground out to Fedko at second in his second time to the plate. Top of the sixth, 1-0 Harwich. 0-1 count to Wells. Zwock, check on Campbell at first. He's back standing. Zwock doing some construction work on the mound. Has to dig out a bit of a hole in front of the rubber. Now he's ready. He'll check on first again. Campbell back standing before any tack from Cavadas. Still an 0-1 count to Wells. Harwich scored their only run today on a solo home run from Christian Fedko. Here's the 0-1 to Wells. Campbell takes off, pitches a called ball. The throw to second on a hop, not in time. Picked cleanly by the shortstop, Hal Hughes. Tried to slap the tag down on Campbell, but the throw from Rothenberg was just a bit late. Second stolen base of the day for Campbell, and he's in scoring position with one down.
There again, just like the first, going after the pickoff attempt was a much better pitch to throw on for Rothenberg behind home plate. Just skipped it there a little short with requiring the scoop and allowed the tag to be late.
1 ball, 1 strike to Wells. The big part of this Red Sox order. Up here now with 1 out in the 6th. The good opportunity with Campbell in scoring position. Riley King and Andrew Eister both waiting in the wings here after Austin Wells. Zwock sets. Here's the 1-1. This is down and away. 2 balls and a strike to Wells. Wells, if there's one thing he's definitely not at the plate, he's not over anxious. Rarely do you see him chase. Two balls, 1 strike. Zwock checks Campbell, now to the plate. Fouled off by Wells. Took a big hack at the fastball. Out of play to the left side. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and I was talking to Wells a couple days ago when we were at Bourne, and I noticed that every time he's on deck, he takes a hop and then takes a mighty swing. But then after that, does not take another one. He's solely focused on his timing. And I asked him when he started doing that, and he said he just started doing it midway through his freshman year at the University of Arizona, and it just felt good. It got his body loose, and obviously it worked to the tune of a 350 average. So I told him, well, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And
2-2, hit in the air, left field line. It's going to drift out of play. A chase was given by Weimer in left, but to no avail.
And that's just one of the things that I've been most impressed with is just his composure at the plate. This is a guy that is only off of his freshman campaign in Division I baseball and has such an advanced, relaxed approach at home plate to where he's going to pick out his pitches. He handles the bat well, goes to all fields, doesn't mind hitting the off speed, and also doesn't mind hitting down in the count with 2 strikes. He's just a very complete hitter for being just a freshman.
2 balls, 2 strikes to the polished Wells. Zwock kicks and deals. Wells drives it deep in the air to right. Cabrera's going back on it near the wall. Home run, Austin Wells. 4th of the year. Just as we were singing his praises, he gives the Red Sox a 2-1 lead in the 6th. A line drive that got out of here in a hurry.
I think that's the second time this season now that we've been talking about Austin Wells, and he's proceeded to hit a home run. So not to say we're the reason, but I'm going to say we're the reason.
I'll say we're the reason as well. A 2-run shot for Wells, plates Campbell. Off the lefty, Nick Zwock on the mound. Bases are now clear. Red Sox lead it 2-1 in the top of the 6th for Riley King. First pitch to King, a fastball strike at the knees, 0-1. Wells just turned on a pitch on the inside. The 0-1. This is upstairs to King, a ball and a strike. Absolutely launched it. A ball that didn't get up all that high, just a line drive in a pretty deep ballpark that doesn't surrender many home runs. The 1-1. King in the air, right side. It's out of play. A ball and 2 strikes now to Riley King.
Yeah, that ball was absolutely tattooed. He got every single bit of that one. Got it out in a hurry. Weimer and Wright simply gave it the courtesy look before watching it sail way out of here.
The 1-2. King takes a fastball just off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Depending on other outcomes throughout the Cape League tonight, that potentially puts Wells in the league lead for long balls with 4. The 2-2 to King. Awkward check swing, tied him up in knots. Strike 3 to King. He's 0 for 3 today. That's the second out now in the top of the 6th. Two outs, that brings up Andrew Oyster. And he entered the night with Wells, tied for the home run lead in the Cape League at 3. 2 outs, nobody on. Red Sox lead 2-1 here in the 6th. I think Oyster's trying to tie up Wells. He sure swings it hard every time he's up there. First pitch from Zwak. Flared, right field line, pretty shallow, foul ball. Oyster almost poked it down the right field line, but it's wide of the boundary, 0-1. Both of these guys, Oyster and Wells, have multi-homer days and doubleheaders for the Red Sox. They've provided the oomph in the middle of this order. The 0-1. Misses low to Oyster, a ball and a strike. And Wells, if he has easy power with just a polished approach at the plate, Oyster swings as hard as anybody and hits the ball as hard as anyone routinely with his high-velocity swings. Here's the 1-2. This is down, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, we saw that in his home run that he hit in Falmouth. An absolute shot to dead center field. And I would have loved to see the numbers of what that was off the bat because it was a hard swing, high-velocity pitch, too, and he got every bit of it. Took it 430 to dead center.
Zwak with the 2-1. Oyster, big cut, fouls it back, out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And those are the kind of home runs Oyster's at Falmouth, Austin Wells today, where you also have to factor in the fact that this is a wood bat league. And wood bats naturally will take a bit of the sting off a ball that you would get in an aluminum, a BB core bat that these kids use in college. So you got to wonder, 430 off a wood bat, what's that going to be with an aluminum in South Carolina?
He ropes the 2-2 towards the Harwich bullpen. Foul ball. Casual duck out of the way down there by a Mariner reliever. Oyster tattooed it foul. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Red Sox lead it 2-1 after the long ball from Austin Wells. And now the question begs, how long is Jack Leftwich going to stay in the game? Worked out of the bases-loaded jam in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch count starting to rise for the Florida man. The 2-2. Misses inside to Oyster. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Barely off the plate.
Yeah, Rothenberg held that for a long time. We've seen that pitch get called with right-handers batters doing that quick scoot out of the way because they think it's inside, but we've seen that get called most recently to Drew Swift, who got rung up on a fastball in that same location.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fouled back by Oyster. Stays alive. 3-2, 2 outs. Bases are clear. 2-1 Red Sox lead it. We talked about how meaningful the bases-loaded jam that Leftwich was able to escape in the bottom of the 5th could be. His offense rewards him after escaping that jam in the very next half inning by taking the lead and now going up 2-1.
Yeah, very quickly, Leftwich is now set up for the win.
Zwak brings the 3-2. Swing and a miss from Oyster. Zwak eventually strikes out the side from the Red Sox in the 6th, but a walk from Campbell. And then the home run to Wells give the Red Sox a 2-1 lead through 5.5 here in Harwich, Massachusetts. The Red Sox on top on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Two to one Red Sox, bottom of the sixth inning here at White House Fields in Harwich. The Red Sox just took the 2-1 lead over the Harwich Mariners. It's been a home run game so far. Jack Leftwich has only surrendered one run on the mound for the Red Sox on a solo shot to Christian Fedko. Austin Wells with the 2-run home run for the Red Sox that gave them the lead last half inning in the top of the sixth. It's Weimer, Cabrera, Keenan due up against Leftwich to begin this bottom of the sixth inning. Weimer 0 for 2 against Leftwich today. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball misses down low. You have to imagine Leftwich's day starting to wind down. He's been impressive, though, in his second time on the hill for the Red Sox so far, as his pitch count rises up above 75. Here's the 1-0. Big cut and a miss from Weimer. You could hear him grunt on that swing. He comes up with just air, 1-1.
Yeah, you're talking about Andrew Eister swinging hard. Joey Weimer has unleashed a couple of mighty hacks in the box to no avail, but you got to wonder if you were to make contact on one of them, how far the ball would go.
The 1-1 misses just inside on a breaking ball. 2 balls and a strike. Weimer's got long blonde hair that flows out under the bright red helmet. The 2-1. Called strike on the inner half. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That hair went flying around after that big cut. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, no base runners. Bottom of the sixth. Leftwich kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Jack Leftwich sits down Joey Weimer via strikeout for the second time today, and there's the first out of the sixth.
Number 4, the right fielder from LSU, Daniel Cabrera.
Jack Leftwich impressing today. Back-to-back starts for the Red Sox have been great from their starters. Trent Denholm, 4 innings, no hits last time out. Leftwich cruising into the sixth. First pitch misses high and away to Daniel Cabrera for ball 1. So far, Leftwich has worked 5 1/3. He's struck out 6 on the mound, only allowed 1 run on just 3 hits. The 1-0. This is in the dirt. Cabrera takes it low. 2-0. Cabrera has popped out to Swift and grounded out to Swift. Here's the 2-0 pitch. This is high and tight. Ball 3 to Cabrera. RJ Yeager now in defensively at shortstop for the Red Sox. The 3-0. Called strike to Cabrera. Strike 1 of this at bat. Yeager in it short for Swift. One of a couple defensive changes the Red Sox have made already today. Leftwich winds. The 3-1. misses just high and away. Ball 4, and Cabrera trots down to first. Second walk of the day issued from Leftwich.
Number 33, the third baseman.
Bullpen
from
is
Ole Miss,
up and active for the Red
Tyler
Sox, and it looks
Keenan.
like Pickler is going to make a move. Make the slow walk out to the mound to at least talk to Jack Leftwich. We'll see if he elects to go to the pen with one out in the bottom of the 6th. His team on top 2-1. You have to wonder if the idea is Pick is going to make a move. Wait until a base runner gets on and then make the move to the bullpen, as sure enough, Pick's going to go to a righty out of the pen. We'll get you his name and information when we return. It's 2-1 Red Sox on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Middle of the bottom of the 6th inning here at White House Field. 2-1 Red Sox lead the home team, the Harwich Mariners. It's Taylor Dollard on the mound for the Red Sox in relief of Jack Leftwich. Leftwich's line incomplete, but he comes out after 5 1/3 in favor of Dollard and Andre. Leftwich in his second start for the Red Sox was really good tonight.
Yeah, we saw a lot of improvement from start number 1 to start number 2. We obviously got the home run numbers down, pitched well to get out of that jam in the 5th to set him up to be now in the position for a win as his offense picked him up. But the strikeout numbers were there. He was missing a lot of bats. Has to like what he saw.
Dollard, the righty, in to face Tyler Keenan with a man on first, one down. First pitch to the lefty, Keenan waved at and missed. Spinning in the batter's box, bringing up a cloud of dust. Dollard 1-0 in 2 appearances for the Red Sox. He's gone 3 total innings without allowing an earned run. Just 1 hit, 5 strikeouts for Dollard. He's been really effective. Picked up the win at Orleans. From the stretch, the 0-1. A breaking ball poured in for a called strike 2 to Keenan, and quickly ahead in the count, 0-2.
Yeah, Dollard has come in and just pitched with nothing but confidence on the mound. We've seen it. He's been attacking hitters in both of his outings thus far, and he's just been pitching well.
Was a great relief man at Cal Poly this year. From the stretch, here's the 0-2. Fastball just off the plate away to the lefty Keenan. In 43 innings this year at Cal Poly, he had just a 2.89 ERA. Batters hit below 200 against Dollard. That led the team. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Keenan. He's 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch from Dollard. Swing and a miss. First man he faces, he sets down on a fastball. Blows it by Keenan, and that's the second out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Number 12.
7th strikeout of the day from Whitey pitchers.
Nico Cavadas.
This pitching staff has really started to figure things out. Starting against Bourne when Trent Denholm set the table. John Beller, and he combined for 9 scoreless, and now just 1 run so far in 5 2/3 against Leftwich and Dollard. Nico Cavadas at the plate. First pitch, a breaking ball that misses away to the big lefty. 1-0. Daniel Cabrera on first for the Mariners. He drew a 1-out walk. That was the last man Jack Leftwich would face today. The 1-0. Breaking ball just misses inside to Cavadas. 2 balls and no strikes. We saw Dollard get quickly ahead of Keenan with the hook. This time he is missed with back-to-back breaking balls. Two to 1 Red Sox, bottom of the 6th. Dollard, slow set at the belt. 2 looks to first, here's the 2-0. Fastball misses down, and he's down 3-0 to Cavadas. We'll see if Cavadas has the green light here. His team trailing by 1, bottom of the 6th. So you know you still have 3 at-bats left, but a big power hitter at the plate. Dollard still from the stretch. Here's the 3-0. Called strike. Pours it right down the middle with a fastball. Cavadas flew out to left center in his first at-bat and popped out to Dugas at second in the 5th. The 3-1. Breaking ball just catches the outside corner. Cavadas was ready to windmill the bat to the dugout and head down to first, but he'll have to go to battle now with a full count. 2 outs, so the runner Cabrera is going to be off from first. A deep breath from Cavadas as he resets. Dollard looks in to Cardenas for the sign, spins his shoulders to look at first base once. Now he sets. A deep breath and the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Taylor Dollard comes out of the pen, gets Keenan and Cavadas swinging to end the 6th, a scoreless 6th from Harwich. Wide East still leads it 2-1. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Samuelson.
Top of the 7th. Back at Harwich, it's 2-1 Red Sox. Tate Samuelson pinch hitting for the Sox here as we begin the 7th. Still Nick Zwock on the mound for the Mariners. Lefty deals a first pitch to Samuelson. It misses outside for ball 1. Samuelson pinch hitting for Jack Wold. Wold was 0 for 2 tonight. Samuelson, Cal Poly prospect, the 1-0. This is low. 2 balls and no strikes to Samuelson. It's 2-1 Red Sox here in the top of the 7th. Let's check out some other scores from around the rest of the Cape League today. The Wareham Gatemen really took it to Brewster, 11-0. The Gatemen won. They're in first place of the Western Division. Here's the 2-0 to Samuelson. Skied, shallow on the infield. The shortstop, Hal Hughes, settling underneath it, still in the dirt, and he makes the catch. A high pop out. First out of the 7th against Zwak from Samuelson. That brings up Gavin Dugas with 2 down. Brewster, after reeling off 6 straight wins, has now lost 3 straight. So they look like a streaky team on the western side of things. Everything else still in action. Bourne leads Chatham 4-1. Currently at Doran Park in Bourne. First pitch to Dugas. Called strike on the outer edge. Now if Bourne wins that game, which they're leading in the top of the 9th, so they can close it out here soon potentially. And Katuitt tops Orleans. And YD has a chance to be tied for first if they can hold on for this win. The 0-1 misses down in the dirt. A ball and a strike. Katuitt and Orleans are tied at 3 in the bottom of the 7th. Brewster already lost. Them, Orleans, and YD are all tied at 13. So YD playing for at least a chance for the share of the lead if Bourne can hold on against Chatham. A ball and a strike to Dugas. Zwak winds and delivers. Called strike on the outer edge. A ball and 2 strikes. Hyannis looking for win number 2. 8-3 over Falmouth, currently in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, it definitely looks early on like this Eastern Division is just going to be a dogfight for this entire season.
Dugas chops the 2-1 left side. Charging it is the shortstop Hughes. He'll slide on to first. Close play, not in time. Infield single, Gavin Dugas. His first base hit as a Red Sox. He's aboard with 1 out now in the 7th.
Hey, you'll take it any way you can get it if you're Gavin Dugas. Hitless throughout. The monkey's just kind of on your back. You're wanting to get your average above 0, and I'm sure he'll take the infield hit.
So Dugas aboard with 1 down. 2-1 Red Sox lead it. Looking for insurance here in the top of the 7th. Now Noah Cardenas from UCLA. 1 for 2 today. He actually had the first Red Sox hit against Zwak in the 5th. Lefty-righty matchup. The first pitch to Cardenas. Misses. Delayed steal from Dugas. Throw down to second. In time to cut down Dugas. Took 2 hops to get to Fedko, covering the second base bag. Finally got to him, and then he was able to slap the tag on just before Dugas slid in. So Rothenberg able to catch the LSU man trying to swipe second for the second out here in the 7th. A bang-bang play at second as Dugas took off on the delayed steal. Rothenberg let it loose from his crouch. The 1-0. Fouled back by Cardenas. A ball and a strike. That throw was so low, it almost got a piece of Zwak on the mound. He had to duck out of the way as it bounced just behind the hill and essentially slid like a ground ball to Fedko covering the back.
Don't often see the delayed steal utilized too much.
1-1 misses down.
Dugas opting to wait until the pitch had already crossed home plate, hoping to catch Rothenberg sleeping, to no avail.
2-1 to Cardenas. Now the bases are clear with 2 down in the 7th. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed by Cardenas. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh no, he's selling inches. I'm just gonna burger. Crystal, come here.
Final from Bourne. They take it 4-1 over Chatham. The 2-2. Misses low, and the count is full with 2 outs now to Cardenas. So YD playing for a share of the Eastern Division lead. They can hang on, currently leading 2-1 in the top of the 7th against the Mariners. Easier said than done. They will have 15 points, and that's enough to even themselves with the Chatham Anglers. The 3-2. Cardenas lines it back up the middle. That's a base hit. Sharply struck baseball stops at the feet of Hurtubise for a 2-out single from Cardenas. When he hits it, he sure ropes it.
Oh, yeah. Solid contact. He welcomed Zwak to the game with the single. Another one here. I'm sure he's happy. He was happy to see Hayward exit the game. 2 very sharply hit singles for him.
Hayward was cruising, the starter for the Mariners, through 4 1/3, but had to leave the game in the middle of a no-hitter with some discomfort. That brought on Nick Zwak, who has pitched well, but surrendered both the Red Sox runs on a 2-run home run to Austin Wells last half inning. Now with 2 down, it's Riley Tirada. First pitch to the righty from Dayton, a called strike.
And this is another guy, Brian. You mentioned Swift starting to put together some more quality at-bats. Riley Tirada falls into that category as well. Another guy that struggled early, doubles machine. Riley Tirada, he's been putting together some more quality at-bats, driving the ball to all fields, looking better. Had a very key double against Falmouth in the win.
The 0-1 misses down and in, and it gets past Rothenberg all the way to the screen behind home plate. Cardenas moves up into scoring position. That's a wild pitch from Zwak.
Big insurance run waiting out there on second base for YD, working with a very slim 1-run lead. Be a big momentum shift for them if they could push this across, stretch the lead to 2.
RJ Yeager on deck for the Red Sox. Tirada at the plate, a 1-1 count. Noah Cardenas represents an insurance run out on second. 2-1 Red Sox lead. Zwak sets. He deals. A called strike, thigh high to Tirada, and it's 1-2. Night starting to fall here in Harwich. Lights taking effect on the playing surface. Still a soft blue sky overhead. A beautiful evening here on Cape Cod. A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch from Zwak. This is down and in. Tirada scoops out of the way, and this one is smothered by Rothenberg. 2-2. Of course, tomorrow we're headed to Fenway Park. Fenway Pack, as they say here. The locals. A showcase in front of Major League Scouts. All 10 teams in the Cape League get the chance to show off their skills. Hopefully another beautiful day in Boston. The 2-2. Swing and a miss from Tirada. He got a piece, but it was held by Rothenberg. Red Sox strand a man on second in the 7th. It's stretch time at White House Field in Harwich. 2-1. Red Sox lead it. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Purchasing your 50/50 ticket.
We have stretched. The 50/50 raffle prizes have been announced. And we are back with the bottom half for the 7th. Fedko, Rothenberg, and Lanzilli due up for the Mariners as they find themselves down 2-1. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin here with you from Harwich, Massachusetts. Harwich was cruising up 1-0 up until an Austin Wells 2-run home run. It's the first pitch from Dollard into Fedko is a breaking ball in there for a called strike 0-1. Red Sox took the lead on the 2-run shot off the bat of their outfielder today, catcher other days. Austin Wells currently finds himself out in center field.
Just their superstar, Austin Wells. How about that?
That works. Fedko at the plate, responsible for the one Mariner run in this one as he takes a mighty swing and misses, and it's 0-2. Fedko, back in the second inning, hit a solo home run off Jack Leftwich, the only run he allowed in this game. 3 hits on the day for him. Fedko hooked one down the left field line just inside the foul pole for a solo shot. The 0-2. Fastball just outside. And it's 1-2. Still a pitcher's duel between the multiple pitchers in this one for both sides. 2 runs on just 3 hits for YD, 1 run on 3 hits for the Mariners.
Of course, this guy, 2 of the 3 hits for Harwich at the plate.
The 1-2. That one skied high on the infield. Tirado ranging just into foul territory. He'll squeeze it for the first out of the inning.
That's a big out, just because Fedko swung it so well. I know Dollard has looked good on the mound. You have the righty-righty matchup there, but that didn't stop Fedko from really roughing up Jack Leftwich. And in a 1-run game, that's a big out, knowing that he has that power to potentially leave the yard.
Kept the leadoff runner off here in the bottom of the 7th as Mike Rothenberg steps in now, the catcher from Duke. He's got the other Mariner hit today. He singled after Fedko's single in their last at-bats. He swings and flares the first pitch out of play off the left side, and it's 0-1. Rothenberg 1 for 2 on the day. Grounded one back to Leftwich on the mound in the second inning before singling in the 5th. Dollard working out of the stretch, kicks and deals, and a breaking ball just misses, and it's 1-1.
That curveball's a great pitch, a lot of break from Dollard out on the mound. Really sharp pitch, and he's been able to locate it. Just missed that time.
Dollard has been hooking in the curveball at around 75 in this outing as he spins another one, and that one just misses once again. Not by much, and it's 2-1.
He's putting it where he wants, just apparently not quite in the strike zone.
Two on the count. Dollard sets at the belt. Takes a deep breath and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count evens at 2-2. And the fact that he's locating and spinning in that breaking ball at 75 probably helps add some velocity, at least from a deception perspective, to his fastball that's been sitting around 90.
Have to imagine so. Definitely just kind of makes it look a little bit faster.
The 2-2. Fastball on the inner half. That's a called strike 3 for the second out of the inning. Dollard takes a walk around the mound as he gathers himself and steps back on the rubber as he continues his strong outing.
You said it. Dollard has been so effective so far. We haven't talked about him much aside from when he's on the mound, just because he hasn't been in any drama. He just gets the outs when he's out there. He's been smooth, effective, doesn't overpower a ton of guys, but he has the good enough stuff to get everybody out.
Lanzilli steps in and swings over the top of an off-speed offering on the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Dollard has faced 4 batters in this one, struck out 3 of them. Dollard set at the belt once again to the crouching Lanzilli. Breaking ball is at the shins for a ball 1-1. Lanzilli on the day, struck out in the 3rd inning before popping up to Drew Swift at short in the 5th. 1-1. Breaking ball drops in at the letters, but it's high, 2-1. 2-1 our score here as the sun continues to set. Lights fully in effect now. As dusk sets over Cape Cod.
Just a pretty night.
2-2. Excuse me. Now it's 2-2. So that was the 2-1 offering cut on and missed.
Just seeing the future over here.
Not the first time we've predicted something here in this Cape League season, as we've set the precedent for a couple Austin Wells big flies in this one. Now the 2-2, and that one swung on and missed. Cardenas will quickly apply the tag, and that ends the inning. So Dollard continues to make quick work of this Harwich order, and then seemingly any order that he has faced thus far on the Cape as he looks to establish himself as one of Scott Pickler's most reliable arms out of the bullpen. 2-1 still our score as we head to the 8th. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 8th inning here at White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts. As Nick Zwock's day is done, and he gives way to Tommy Vale out of the Harwich bullpen, the Notre Dame product. As he will face R.J. Yeager as he sets to take his first cuts of the day on for Drew Swift. And Vale's first pitch is well high up at the eyes of Yeager, and it's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch is also at the eyes of Yeager, and it's quickly 2-0.
Vale, lefty, not a ton of size from Notre Dame, but he can get the fastball up there around 90. Good stuff from the left side.
2-0 pitch is just low, and the count runs to 3-0.
Doesn't look like he should throw that hard, not even really being 6 feet tall, but ball just really explodes out of his hand from the left side.
3-0 offering is upstairs, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Yeager.
Of course, got to be in the zone. Doesn't matter how hard you're throwing. Is now YD top of the lineup up with the man on, and Vale has to be careful here. Just a 1-run game still. Very much in this one is Harwich, despite the great pitching of YD. He can't give up too many insurance runs and let this one get out of reach.
Top of the order, as my partner said, Noah Campbell steps in for his 4th AB of the day. Final line for Nick Zwock. 2 2/3 innings, the 4 hits, the 2 runs, they were both earned. Came off the bat of Austin Wells as he hit a 2-run shot to right. Walked just 1 and struck out 5. Campbell now batting from the right side, down 0-1. Big swing and a miss from Campbell as he was late on the fastball, and it's 0-2. Campbell, 2 walks on the day and struck out in the third. He was on base ahead of Wells when he hit his 2-run home run. The 0-2. That one rides inside, catches Campbell on the shoulder, and the Red Sox have their first 2 runners on as Austin Wells comes to the plate.
Quick to drop the bat and sprint down the first baseline. But in a little bit of pain there for sure. That hit you pretty square. But now this is what Vail couldn't do. Back-to-back free passes ahead of Wells, King, and Eister. The big 3 right now in this order for YD. And Wells already showed you what he can do today.
Wells on the day, 1 for 3. Flew out to center field in the first, grounded out to second in the fourth, and then, of course, the 2-run home run in his last at-bat. As the first pitch to him is upstairs, 1-0.
Command just isn't there for Vail right now. He's missing mostly up in the zone, but just hasn't had it.
Very quickly, another arm up in the Mariner bullpen. As Vail checks the runner on second and delivers the 1-0. That one's also upstairs for a ball, 2-0. You get the feeling, Brian, that this inning already is teetering right now for Tommy Vail on the mound.
Yeah, you wonder how long of a leash he's going to get, knowing this is still a very winnable game.
2-0. Swinging away was Austin Wells as he fouls run straight back and over the screen, and it's 2-1.
Vail's had good command so far for the Mariners in his career. He's gone 3 innings and a couple of appearances, struck out 5, no walks. So it's not as if this is necessarily a normal thing for him.
Will Heflin, the righty, is up in the bullpen right now throwing as a mighty swing from Austin Wells, and the count evens at 2-2.
That's just Vail saying, look, I need to get a strike. I'm going to throw the fastball. Wells knew it, just came up empty.
And now joining Heflin in the bullpen is Antonio Menendez. 2-2, 2 runners on for Austin Wells. Breaking ball skips before home plate, blocked well behind the dish by Rothenberg, and the count runs full.
First time we've seen the breaking ball there from Vail. It's a good sharp pitch, but Wells probably not the guy you're going to get to chase.
Full count now, as this is a big batter, not only in the context of the inning, but also in the game for Tommy Vail and Harwich. And here's the offering. Swanson roped down the first base line, just foul. And everyone will head back to their respective positions, and we'll do it again.
Wells turned on a pitch high and in. That ball's a few feet farther to the left. Fair ball down the line, and it's off to the races with Yeager going to score from second, and Campbell great speed on first.
Riley King waits on deck. Hughes holding on the runner at second, and Wells is down swinging on the fastball, and that's the first out of the inning.
Wells was sitting off speed there. He was late to the fastball for sure. That's just he probably thinking, look, just got the fastball. I turned on it. There's no way they're going to give me one again. So he sees the off-speed pitch, or is at least expecting to see the off-speed, doesn't get it. Defensive hack, and couldn't quite get a piece.
Tommy Vail having a quick powwow behind the mound with both of his middle infielders, as Riley King waits just outside the right-hander's batter's box.
I would imagine that's probably something about varying up his looks to second base. If I had to guess, you don't want Yeager to get a great jump and steal third.
Vail set at the belt, delivers to Riley King as he pops one up, and that's heading really close to us. Up into the bleachers, through the hands of our scout liaison sitting just to our left.
Alex should have caught that. That's on him. He's got to make that catch. You got to make that catch over there.
Yeah. The rest of our media team was
scattered
right in the way of that. Not one of them made the play. We had 3 media interns surrounding that baseball, and it bounced between all of them.
He didn't have his glove. That's what our broadcast partner, TJ Mathewson, says.
0-1 is a breaking ball that drops low out of the zone, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, anybody who has their glove makes that catch, TJ. It's exciting to make the catch without the glove.
If I had to sum it up in one word, I would just say I'm disappointed.
Agreed. We were protecting the equipment.
1-1. Sky backing out of play, and it's 1-2.
Our responsibility on the air, protect the equipment. That's why neither of us made any moves for that.
We're tethered in here with our headsets.
Yeah, that's true. We wouldn't have reached there anyway, just far enough away.
Still 2-1 our score here. Tommy Vale working in a little bit of trouble after allowing the first two men to reach base. Riley King, cleanup hitter today for the Red Sox. In the box, as he grounds one through the left side, and that's a base hit. Yeager's getting waved home. The throw will be cut off, and he is in with a slide, and the lead is pushed to 3-1.
Riley King extends his hit streak to 5 games. He's hit safely in every game as a Red Sox. 1 for 4 today, so not his best day at the plate, but he'll take it. That's a massive insurance run, the RBI single. And the Red Sox not done yet with still some power looming here. You've got Eister and then Samuelson, who pinch hit for Wold last inning.
With the throw being cut off, Campbell unable to advance to third on the play, so situation remains the same with 2 men on, 1 man out. And Andrew Eister steps in now 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. First pitch is swung on and skied into center field. Campbell will head back to second looking to tag. Hurtubise will make the play. The throw skips into short. They go at the back door. And they got King trying to advance to second base. So a double play keeps the inning from being a whole lot worse for Tommy Vale on the mound. But the Red Sox do push across an all-important insurance run. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 8th here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
LSU, number 9.
Bottom of the 8th inning here. Hal Hughes set to lead things off, batting out of the 9-hole this evening. Struck out in the 3rd, walked in the 5th. Taylor Dollar to back out for his second clean inning of work. Came on with 1 man on and 1 man out in the 6th. First pitch to Hughes is foul tipped at the plate, and it's 0-1. Big insurance run pushed across in the top of the 8th inning by the Red Sox. As the score is now 3-1, Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin with you. Good breaking ball there from Dollard, and it's quickly 0-2. Seems like every batter that Dollard has faced for the most part has been 1-2, 0-2.
Yeah, and he's attacking them in different ways. Not always both curveballs or both fastballs. He's doing so many different things.
The 0-2 offering is chopped on the ground. Yeager charging. Couple crow hops, and he'll throw over to Samuelson. And that's the first out of the inning.
Easy play for Yeager. Just a different style of shortstop than we've seen it with Drew Swift and Luke Waddell. Both of them have great quick releases, really quick feet. Yeager has a big arm that he can just kind of probably not attack the baseball as quickly as Waddell and Swift have to get it off to first. Sat back on that one and just let one fire over to first to get him.
Kind of has like a DJ LeMahieu sort of profile with the not exactly the prototypical size you see from a shortstop, a very big body out there. Bunt attempt from Jacob Hurtubise. Waves at it and missed, though, and it's 0-1.
I think he says in his bio at Mercer that he is considers himself a Carlos Correa type. One of those tall, power-hitting shortstops.
Another big body, very athletic frame. 0-1 is well outside, 1-1.
And I think that's just modern baseball. You're seeing so many different. You can have a Drew Swift, quick hands, decent arm. You can have a Carlos Correa, a Troy Tulowitzki type, RJ Yeager.
1-1 is a breaking ball, dropped in there, buckled the knees of Hurtubise, and it's 1-2.
But you can see all those guys play really third, short, or second. Everybody has a strong enough arm for the most part to play third. It's not just the small, quick guys up the middle and the big, beefy guy at third now.
That one's chopped on the ground. Yeager will have another play, but he's cut off by Terada, and he'll go across the diamond for the second out of the inning.
Talk about a guy who has impressed with his glove. Riley Terada just seems to make everything look routine. He does have one error over there at third for the Red Sox, but he's also made a couple outstanding plays as well. He has kind of your typical third baseman size, right? He's taller, a really strong arm, but he moves well and has just sure hands.
This YD defense, middle of the pack in fielding percentage and errors. Joey Weimer steps in and takes the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1. As a team, a .966 fielding percentage. They've committed 12 errors, good for fifth in the Cape, but not many have come from this infield as they've been very, very good as a unit. That one's grounded through the hole, and that's a base hit. So Weimer is on with 2 outs as he chops it down after rounding first, and the inning is extended.
Now the tying run at the plate. Cabrera can swing it. He's got a home run this season and a double, so the extra base power is there. But to this point, Dollard has been in total command. First base runner he's allowed right there in the soft single from Weimer, but that wasn't hit all that hard, just kind of flared off the hands through the right side.
So a 2-out base runner for Harwich. As Dollard out of the stretch for the first time. Sets at the belt. First pitch is dug out well behind the plate by Cardenas. And it's 1-0. Dollard wants a new baseball and gets one. Home plate umpire Tim Carey swapping out the baseballs. 1-0 the count. 2 men down here, 3-1 our score. Daniel Cabrera, the LSU Tiger, in the box. Curveball just doesn't drop into the strike zone. It misses at the letters, and it's 2-0.
Just up.
Cabrera 0 for 2 with a walk today. Batting from the left side, playing right field. Weimer's bluffed to steal, and the count runs to 3-0. Taylor on the mound. He's pitched very well in this one. 4 strikeouts. Just the 1 hit surrendered to Weimer's in the previous at-bat. 3-0. Swinging away. Cabrera had the green light, and he fouls it back to the screen, 3-1.
I love that green light. You know, you've got a guy with power at the plate. Go ahead and let him take a big rip and tie it up. Go ahead and take the big swing. He did that, and it wasn't out of the strike zone. That's a pitch to drive, just didn't quite get it.
He was on it, fouled it straight back into the screen. The count's now 3-1. Dollar checks Weimer's on first. Checks again. And now comes to the plate 3-1. Another swing and a miss from Cabrera. And Dollards work the count back full.
And now he's probably going to shorten up. So we're really going to get to see, I think, the trust Dollard has in the curveball. I think he's going to go with the hook here. He's had more command with the fastball this at bat, but the curveball's been the out pitch.
4 strikeouts on the day. Dollard looking for a 5th to escape the 3-2 jam. That one's chopped softly back to the mound. Dollard will gather, throw to first, and that will end the inning. So Dollard works around the 2-out single, keeps the score where it is at 3-1. We head to the 9th inning. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Play here in Harwich. Red Sox lead this one by a score of 3-1. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin with you as Tommy Vale gives way to the new pitcher, Joe Boyle.
Teammate from Notre Dame for Vale. Boyle going to be probably the closer for this Mariners team this season. A guy who sits in the upper 90s, touches 100 with the fastball, 6'7" frame on the mound. Would have been likely a first couple days pick out of the draft out of high school, but I had him last summer as a Kalamazoo Growler, and after he was briefly in the Cape last summer, struggled with command, came to Kalamazoo and was really good. He actually wrote a handwritten letter to every MLB team out of high school telling them not to draft him because he was going to honor his commitment to Notre Dame. So he ended up falling late into the draft, but he's turning it around after a couple years of struggles, a bit at Notre Dame. Obviously has some of the best stuff in collegiate baseball, sitting upwards of 90 to 100 miles an hour.
First pitch is a fastball that pops the glove of Rothenberg, and it's 1-0. Certainly an intimidating presence on the mound, standing at 6'7". As Tate Samuelson is the first to face him. As he chops one high to short. Hughes over in fields, makes the strong throw across the diamond, and that's the first out of the inning.
And to this point, Boyle's been almost perfect in the summer for the Mariners. It looks like Wyatt Young's going to pinch hit here for the Red Sox, trying to add some more insurance. But in 4 innings pitched, it's only been 1 hit, no walks, 9 strikeouts for Boyle on the mound.
So Dugas's day is done. Got off the schneid for him. Got his first hit in an infield single in his last at-bat in the 7th. And Wyatt Young now steps in, batting from the left side. It's a like-for-like pinch hit. So we'll take Dugas's spot at second base. Choking up on the bat, he takes the fastball at the shoulders, and it's 1-0.
So Young is 5'7", Boyle is 6'7". You add the mound in, it looks like Young comes up to maybe the thigh of Joe Boyle out there.
Certainly a size advantage for Boyle on the mound as Wyatt Young is late on the fastball, and it's 1-1.
But I tell you what, Wyatt Young can hit it as hard as anybody at times in this lineup. He's got some power for his frame. He squares up 100 miles an hour. I'd love to see how far the little man could hit it.
Sneaky pop from Wyatt Young. We've seen it on display early in this Cape League season as it's 2-1. Wyatt Young, a guy that came in on a temporary contract and just played so well, Scott Pickler couldn't take him out of the lineup as he looks at a fastball in there, 2-2.
Good defender, hits for average, was the leading hitter for Pepperdine this year. A temp guy, like you said, who's managed to stick around.
The 2-2. Swung on and missed, and that's the first strikeout for Boyle and a quick 2 outs in the ninth.
That's some heat. Boyle is throwing really hard. I don't know if it's quite 100, but you're talking upper 90s fastball. He sits anywhere from 97 to 99, and when he wants to gear it up, it's touching 100. Last summer at the biggest showcase in the Northwoods League, Andre, he topped out at 103 in front of the scouts.
That is fast.
That'll play any level.
I truly can't imagine what that looks like as Cardenas turns away from the breaking ball that doesn't break.
It's an 88-mile-an-hour breaking ball to go with 90s stuff. That's not very fair.
One day, I really hope I get an opportunity just to stand in the box.
I don't.
And just see what 100 looks like.
Nope, I have no interest in that.
I want to see how quickly.
See this fence in front of us, I'm happy.
That's at the plate. And second pitch is skipped in there for a ball, 2-0. Because they always talk about how little time a hitter has in reaction to be able to decide if they would like to swing at the pitch. And that's with 95. I really wonder what 101 coming up at you looks like.
Yeah, I saw a couple times in high school 90 miles an hour, maybe a little bit faster. And I was overpowered by a long shot then. And I knew I wasn't really going to touch it if he was in the strike zone. I was really just up there looking for a walk. And I don't think I would see 100.
2-0 pitch is in there for a called strike to Cardenas, and it's now 2-1. Cardenas has a pair of hits today. Both came off of Nick's walk. 2-1. Just a bit outside, and the count runs to 3-1.
Now this will be interesting to see how big a cut Cardenas takes. Does he just try to extend the inning here against Boyle 3-1, or is he? I can't imagine he's going to expand the zone. He's got to be looking for it down the middle.
3-1. Grounded down the first base line, fielded well from Cavadas. He'll step on the bag, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Boyle. So Boyle comes in, does his job, keeps the lead exactly where it is for YD, as the Harwich Mariners will come in and take their final at-bats of the game, they need 2 to tie, 3 to win. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
please now on the mound for the Red Sox.
Bottom of the ninth inning as the sun is all but set. Just some faint blue off to our left, but largely a dark sky has set in over White House Field in Harwich as the Mariners get set to enter the final frame down 3-1. And the new pitcher now is Dollard's day is done as he gives way to Zach Matthews, 6'1", 210-pound righty out of Oklahoma.
But he throws pretty hard. Going to be in the 90s.
Matthews' first offering. In there for a called strike to Tyler Keenan. And it's 0-1.
Matthews looked really good in the first inning of his first appearance against Katuitt. An easy 1-2-3 frame was that second inning where he just couldn't quite slam the door on the Kettleers.
4, 5, and 6 for the Mariners as it's quickly 0-2 on Keenan. Waiting on deck is Nico Cavadas. He's 0 for 3 on the day, and then Christian Fedko. He's responsible for the only run of the day, waits in the hole.
It's a dangerous and powerful part of the order. All three of these guys have a home run this year.
Matthews with the 0-2. Nice. Blew it by Keenan, and that's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, he throws hard. That's a fastball that's in the low to mid 90s for sure. I haven't even had to see the off speed yet for Matthews, but if he's in the strike zone, it's definitely tough to hit. Why he's the guy here in a safe situation out of the pen for Scott Pickler.
3 pitches, 3 fastball, 3 strikes. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to Keenan, and Nico Cavada steps in. That one's grounded hard towards Yeager at short. He'll field it, throw over to Samuelson, and very quickly 2 down in the inning.
Pitch up in the zone that off the bat, it made a really loud sound, but I think Cavadas cued it almost right off the end of the bat. Ended up rolling softly to Yeager at short, who again just showed off the big arm from shortstop.
So very quickly 2 down. Fedko steps in, but a solo home run here doesn't hurt you. But with 2 outs in the 9th, this was the spot that we saw Matthews struggle against Katuitt a week or so ago. Fedko squares to bunt. Takes the first pitch for a strike. An interesting decision there.
You wonder if he knows that scouting report. Matthews got that ball back and kind of snapped it with his glove, almost like, are you kidding me? You're going to try that on me right now? Just kind of wiggling the bat out in front of home plate, looking to draw a walk.
Matthews working quickly from the stretch. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball in the dirt, and the count evens at 1-1. That's the first ball Matthews has thrown in this outing, working very quickly. One and one. Matthews set at the belt. Delivers the pitch, and it's outside for a ball, 2-1. Bit chilly as there's a slight breeze here in Harwich. Fedko ahead in the count, 2-1, looking to keep the inning going. Matthews takes a deep breath. 2-1 is fouled just over our heads and out of play, and it's 2-2. Twice in that outing, Matthews had 2 outs, 2 strikes on a hitter, unable to close the door either time. Looking to fare differently here tonight. Fedko steps back in. Takes a couple check swings, and now he's ready. Matthews delivers. Checks his swing. The appeal, yes he did, and that's how the ball game ends. Matthews comes in, slams the door 1, 2, 3, and a big come-from-behind win from the Red Sox. They'll take it by a final score of 3-1. If you're the Mariners, this kind of feels like a what-if sort of game
We look at that bottom of the fifth, right? We talked about it at the time.
Yep.
Bases loaded, and Jack Leftwich got out of it. Definitely the inning to look at, and Whitey's offense ends up doing just enough. But you and I said it at the time, that could be a massive inning in the course of this game, and sure enough, comes back to hurt Harwich.
Between leaving the bases loaded in the fifth and Buddy Hayward having to exit under his own accord after feeling some discomfort with a no-hitter going, he was absolutely cruising, making quick work of this YD offense. But alas, that's the way the ball bounces in baseball sometime, and a win is a win regardless of how you get it. YD will take this one 3-1. Brian, final thoughts.
Good win for YD. Austin Wells is just an absolute man at the plate. His approach is a professional level approach. He has the power. That 2-run home run is the difference. A couple walks come around to score for YD, and Noah Campbell and then RJ Yeager would eventually score an insurance run. And again, like you said, what if for Harwich, that bases loaded inning in the fifth where they couldn't get anything done really comes back to hurt you. But this is now over 18 innings, just one run given up by this YD pitching staff. Leftwich, Dollard, and Matthews were all great today, following up on Denholm and Beller's performance. So this staff that started slow, really starting to figure it out these last few nights.
Yeah, and just to quickly touch on Dollard once again, like you said, he's had very quiet success, come in and just gone about his business, making quick work of a lot of the lineups that he's faced. But I want to make sure he gets his due on this quick post-game wrap. He was exceptional tonight. Just the one hit allowed, came in, stemmed the tide for Leftwich, preserved the win for him. What allowed him to be so successful today?
What was the curveball? That was the pitch that was the difference maker. A fastball that was sitting right around 90 miles an hour, but it was the curveball. That was the out pitch. He was in the strike zone. Then he came in and struck out 4 guys in 2 2/3 innings. Just a good night there. The Red Sox continue to strike a lot of guys out. Leftwich with 6, Dollard 4, and Matthew 2 in the last inning. So the swing and miss stuff starting to come around for this Red Sox staff. But like you said, Dollard was great in relief for Leftwich, who was really good as well. Felt like maybe not as dominant as either Denholm or Beller, but then Dollard came in and just quietly was outstanding out of the bullpen. You're right, Andre. Just that one hit that he gave up. No walks and 4 strikeouts in 2 2/3 innings. That's excellent stuff out of the pen. And then you get it to the closer tonight, Zach Matthews, who has blow it away stuff for the 9th inning.
So a 3-1 win here for the Red Sox here at White House Field. No baseball tomorrow as far as the game is concerned, but we will be at Fenway Park.
Yeah.
The Red Sox and all other Cape League teams working out in a showcase in front of scouts. One of the best days in the Cape League season. I know all of us on the broadcast team are excited to be there. Fenway Park, an incredible venue, and it's just awesome to see all the scouts that come out, the talent on display, batting practice, fielding, the whole 9 yards. It truly is something special.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be a really fun day. Great chance for these guys to show their skills out there in front of Major League scouts, likely on the best playing surface many of them have ever played on in one of the hallowed grounds of baseball, Fenway Park. It's going to be great. I imagine we're going to have a lot of content that we're putting out on social media, so make sure if you're tuning in right now, follow us on all of our social media. We'll give you all sorts of updates throughout the day from Fenway on different performances and what everybody's going on, and trying to keep you up to date from everything happening in Fenway before we're back to baseball after that and what's going to be a really long stretch coming up.
Yep. Not a lot of off days, courtesy of Mother Nature, but don't worry, we won't be gone too long, just the one day off before we will be back on your airwaves. We will be back as YD takes on Falmouth in an interdivision matchup at Red Wilson Field on Friday. But that'll do it for us here at White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts. For Brian McLaughlin, I'm Andre Sims. Thanks for listening. YD takes this one by a final score of 3-1.